If you're a writer or an author, this is the video for you. You're trying to get a book published onto Kindle or the Amazon platform, digital or physically. My name is Stephen Pope. I'm the founder of My Amazon Guy, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through how to load into the Kindle publishing platform. So this is Kindle Direct Publishing. In here, if you literally just type into Google kdp.amazon.com, it'll pull this up. You do have to have. Here's what my final product looks like. So I made a book called Amazon Selling Tips. So if you go over to amazon.com and simply type in Amazon Selling Tips, you can see a copy of my book right here. We ended up making both a paperback and a Kindle version. We launched the Kindle first. It is my recommendation that if you want to get a best-selling book on Amazon, to go ahead and give away the book for free via Kindle for a launch period. That could be for 3 days, that could be for a week, whatever makes the most sense for you. Blast it out to your social media, your email contacts, and everybody you know, just to get the units turning. One of the most confusing things to people when they start selling on Amazon is they don't realize you need sales to get sales, and that's a weird statement. But essentially, the way that the velocity works is it's a snowball effect. So if you get a bunch of sales on this book, by any means necessary, free or otherwise, it will end up ranking you in Amazon. So if you type in Amazon Selling Tips right now, my book comes up towards the top here, which is awesome. We just published this book back in January 2023, and it ended up getting the top badge for Amazon SEO and marketing when we first launched it on the weekend. Now, one of the challenges that I'm having right now is they actually just took down my Kindle version. So we're working on appealing this and having some issues with this, but essentially we had the Kindle for free. It ended up generating, I want to say like 3,000 downloads in the first 72 hours, which was awesome. And then we sell the paperback for $29.99. We've since moved the ebook up to $25, and that's how we're editing that out. So that's where I'm at with the current status. When you go to first make a KDP account, you're going to put in regular information, your name, your bank account, tax information, and all that good stuff. And then after you clear some basic login information, you're going to be over here and loading in information such as this, paperback details. Now, obviously, you need to have some good content, a book written, some grammar edited, and all those good things you normally would do with a standard book. In here, some settings that you can fill out. Language, of course, the book title. Now, keep in mind, this cannot be changed after you publish it, which is kind of important. So keep that in mind. And we called our book Amazon Selling Tips, but you can affect the Amazon title here after printing it. So there is that benefit. I do recommend having a lengthy title when you sell on the Amazon platform because it is very beneficial to generate SEO juice and keyword rankings and a lot of benefits in that variety. So keep that in mind when you're filling this out, but you can have a short title here and a subtitle that includes a bunch of information. So we have our book title, Amazon Selling Tips, subtitle, Seller's Guide to the Growth, 4 Pillars of FBA with PPC, SEO, Catalog, and Design. And so that's what all of my content is about. Very basic information, how to get started, what are some of the core tenets you need to do in a book form. You can have a series and edition numbers and stuff like that. And we didn't fill any of that out because this is my first book. Inside here, we filled out my name as the author. If you go look at this right here, this is where the author section will show up. Now, I don't have a trademark on my name yet. So when you click on that, it shows up with Scientific American Nutrition and a bunch of other random books that I obviously did not write. So if you're a serious author, you've been around the block, you're going to write more than one book, I do recommend getting a trademark. I have filed more than 1,800 trademarks myself. If you guys want to hire us to help you with the trademark, you can go to myamazonguy.com/TM. And you can get brand registered on Amazon within 7 days to do this. This works for both author names as well as company names or any sort of branding methodologies. I highly recommend it because it gets you access to some cool stuff, including enhanced brand content and some other benefits. So definitely something to keep in mind with that. Also, author pages and branded storefronts are also very beneficial for defensive purposes because you don't want somebody to click on your name and show up and see other people's stuff, right? So that's why that's important, especially if you're a newer author or a newer seller. I highly recommend a trademark. I do it for every one of my customers, no matter how they're selling on the Amazon platform. I highly recommend it. So I actually have not trademarked my name yet, and I'm going to take that as an action item because I haven't got around to that yet, and I'm going to do that myself today. When you go to fill out trademark applications, here's some of the information that's going to be required. Some very basic things like name, email, address, phone number. I do recommend doing word trademarks whenever possible. And so we'll pull in my name, Stephen Pope, for my trademark phrase here. Other things you'll need to show is the confirmation that your trademark is in use. So you can click on yes on that. You can put the publication date for everything that was used in commerce. So with a book, if you've published the book already, you can use that date. I also have a website and all those good things that I've used for anything, purposes for business or otherwise. You'll fill out the date that the trademark was first used or the author name. I'm going to list the date that my book actually published on Amazon, which is the 19th of January there for the first time used in commerce. I also have a website that I use, which also can be used to fill out that obligation. So if you need to get your name used, a website does qualify for this. But you do have to have something that can be purchased to be used in commerce at the same time. So you can use like a coaching call or a consulting call. Those things also work as a service. One thing to keep in mind, you will need to get a specimen. The best way I like to describe this is just a cell phone picture of your item or your service or a brochure or something like that. So here's my book that's printed, so you could use that yourself. Make sure that the edges are all visible. Don't crop anything out. And they don't want a graphic. They prefer a cell phone picture. We have had some success in providing a graphic like a front cover like this or a link that also does work for specimens, but it's not ideal. It's better to have a cell phone picture. After you file that, we'll get the trademark submitted another about one business day, and then you can get your trademark brand registered on Amazon, author name or otherwise, within about 7 days. It's basically how long it takes the USPTO to make that information public. Amazon crawls it, and you can submit the application from there. Going back to our KDP setup, in here you can also put contributors. If there's additional authors, you can put that information in there. The description is very important. Definitely don't go sparse on this. Use ChatGPT to write a description if you need to, or just copy and paste some paragraphs directly from the book and explain how you do what you do in the book. Give somebody a reason to purchase it. This is definitely a call to action. Some of the pristine information that you're sharing and why you wrote the book, those sort of things do go very well on the platform. You do want to use some keywords and some Amazon SEO as well, wherever possible. Publishing rights, do you own the copyright, or if it's public domain work, you can select that there. Most of you are probably going to be selecting you own the rights. Here's some keywords you can put in. So here's some things that we've done like SEO and PPC and seller account. I'm going to switch this customer service one over to Amazon FBA. And you want to put things that you know that when somebody types them in that your book will show up for and that they will want to purchase. And selling on Amazon for me would be an example of one. So we'll switch those over and we'll get that updated. Here's the categories. So I put myself in entrepreneurship. There are a lot of categories from fiction to nonfiction and everything in between. You can click on these drop downs and select whatever's going to work best for you. If you're going for a #1 new release badge, obviously the more niche the category, the more chance you're going to have for that. But in my experience, no matter what category you select, you can still get a #1 new release badge in a cursory category or a subcategory that's not necessarily the same. Market, whether it's adult content or not, most are going to be no on that, and then hit save and continue. One of the nice things that Amazon started to do was give you access to a free ISBN number. So you can click that to get one assigned when you go to release the book. That makes this very convenient. You don't have to go buy one from GS1 or get a UPC code or anything like that. Select the publication date, print options. So if you're doing a physical book, you can put in here standard color, interior with white paper, etc. I do recommend if you are going to do a Kindle, go ahead and take the extra step. Might take you another hour or so to fill out the book copy, print on demand. You're going to get a few extra sales from that. Given those extra options, I definitely recommend it. And then you can pick the trim size and the bleed and mate versus glacé and all that sort of stuff. Here you're going to actually upload the manuscripts. They will send you a printed copy of this so you can check it out before it goes live. Here is my copy of the book. This is when they sent it, so it says not for resale. So this is the test version that they give you before it goes live. After you confirm this, the book can go live on the Amazon platform in under a week. I think it took mine about 72 hours after I received this. I immediately went and approved it. Was pretty happy with the print. Very thick book. I think we went with the mate on the paperback finish, and in here you can see I did a color print, so you can see colors inside like this. We made a bunch of cool graphics as we built this book and lots of different information. So I was very happy with how this turned out, and I definitely recommend the print-on-demand service. Now, granted, you're not going to make a lot of money on this. If you're in the business of selling books, unless you're one of the top 1% in authors, you're not making money. This is true for all media forms, generally speaking. The same could even be said for OnlyFans. Only the best contributors and the biggest winners are going to win the pot of money. So oftentimes, a lot of people, the reason that they write a book and publish it on Amazon is for a tertiary benefit, to generate leads, to get speakerships, to get on podcasts, stuff like that. So those are very common reasons. And if that's one of your goals, that's pretty normal. After you load the book into the system, cover and otherwise, you can see a book preview, and you can launch the previewer right there and see the summary information. It'll also break down what your printing costs are. They are different per market, so sometimes it can be more expensive or less expensive depending on that, but pretty similar overall. You can then save a draft or save and continue and then publish it. And the last section here is going to be the paperback rights and pricing, so you can set up the territories and where you've got rights. Most of you are probably going to have worldwide rights, not a problem, but you can select individual territories if necessary. Primary marketplace, where you want it to sell. I do recommend go ahead and sell your book in all marketplaces and enable that. It did take us a little bit of time to figure out how to enable some of those, but that's what you do in the pricing section down here. You do have to physically fill in every one of these prices. You can do a little bit of parity here and fill this in and expand the distribution here, but you definitely want to expand it as many locations as you possibly can, so that you get as much availability as possible, as many countries. And so you can see I've got Germany and France and Spain and Italy and New Zealand and Japan, even Canada, Australia, a bunch of other websites on the Amazon platform. Little terms and conditions there, nothing you can do about that. You can request the proof by clicking on that button right there. That's how I got this copy right here. And then you hit your publish for your paperback book just like that. So that's how you load and sell a book on the Amazon platform. You can do this for both Kindle and a physical book. I do recommend doing both. Give away that Kindle for free to generate some sales. And if you need some SEO tips or design tips, you may want to check out one of my courses over at Mag School. And that's mag-school.com. We have courses for as little as $10 on how to do Amazon SEO like this, as well as how to load things to the catalog and PPC and design. So if you want to get into private label or just sell more of your book, these are courses that can definitely help you generate lots of sales for your book. My name is Stephen Pope. I'm the founder of My Amazon Guy. I also have an agency where we help brands launch a bunch of products. I don't recommend hiring an agency to sell a book. I think you're better just following what I did in this video and just doing it. Maybe get a course or two. But if you're selling a private label item, maybe you sell a book plus you're selling an item, I do recommend agencies for that. We're one of the fastest growing companies in the United States with over 300 brands that we service over at myamazonguy.com. Full service agency, everything from SEO, PPC, design, and catalog to manage your market share growth on the Amazon platform. Thanks for checking us out. Check out these playlists next. I've got almost 2,000 videos on the YouTube talking about how to do everything within the Amazon platform.